Good afternoon, Rabbi. The question was asked by one of our friends: are women allowed to hold a class to teach one another Talmud, the Gemara, all kinds of tractates of the Gemara? So, in order to answer the question, we have to first look at the Gemara itself. It says in the Gemara, Masechet Sotah, Kaf Aleph Amud Aleph. It says over there in the Mishnah, two opinions we find over there. One is Ben Azai. Ben Azai says that it's good to teach one's daughter Torah. He says, where do we learn that from? From the Sotah. Why is that? Because they say that when the Sotah drinks the water to test her if she cheated on her husband, so the way it works is that if she has the zechut of Talmud Torah, that she studied Torah, that can delay the punishment for 3 years, up to 3 years. So therefore, says Ben Azai, we learn from there that it's a very good thing to teach your daughter Torah, because if this happens to her, God forbid, she'll be saved for 3 years, her life will be extended. But then we have also another opinion, Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says no. If you teach your daughter Torah, it's considered to be like you're teaching her tiflut. So what does that mean, you're teaching her tiflut? What's this idea? So explain the poskim, the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch and many other poskim, they explain the idea is that since most women are not adept, they're not, their mindset, their mentality is not really qualified so well to learn things like Talmud and other parts of the oral Torah. So therefore, it says Rabbi Eliezer that if you teach her this discipline of Talmud and things like similar to that, what happens is that you're teaching her tiflut. What's tiflut? Tiflut means that you're teaching her averah, teaching her to sin. What does that mean, to sin? That means that she won't understand properly the words of the Torah because her mentality is not adept for that, it's not qualified for that. So therefore what happens is that they understand it the wrong way, and therefore comes out the wrong interpretation of the Torah, the wrong understanding of the Torah, and this can cause all kinds of problems with her and herself and whoever she teaches as well. So we see from there that a person should not teach his daughter Torah, and really the truth is it doesn't really matter if it's your daughter or any other woman. Since most women, it says in the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Reish Ben Vav, Seif Vav, it says there that most women are not adept to that. They're not qualified to learn this kind of discipline in Torah, even though some women are. So we have to make sure, right, that we understand that's not everybody. Every woman is not the same. There are some women who are a minority who are actually can succeed in studying Torah, but nevertheless most women are not in that category. So therefore the general rule is that a person shouldn't teach his daughter Torah, or any other woman for that matter. But it also says in the Shulchan Aruch, brings it down from the Rambam, the same Shulchan Aruch we just mentioned, that if a woman wants to learn Torah, she's allowed to do that, and she also has schar, she has reward for that. Right? She's rewarded. And we find that from this Gemara also. How is she rewarded? That for 3 years her punishment is delayed. So we see from there that there is reward for a woman who learns Torah. So what does that mean? If she wants to learn herself the Torah, not that her father should teach her, or her husband should teach her. No, she learns by herself. That means that she has the ability to do so. And if she does so, she has reward. So she can succeed if she's in that minority of women who can succeed in studying Torah, so therefore she has the right to do so, and she gets rewarded as well. Nevertheless, says the Rambam in the Shulchan Aruch that their reward for studying Torah is not the same as the men. The men get rewarded more. Why is that? What's the reason why? Because men are commanded to study Torah, and women are not. So therefore a person who's commanded has more reward than a person who's not commanded and does so. What's the reason why? Because when a person is commanded to do something, he also has a Yetzer Hara. So he has to overcome the Yetzer Hara, which is bigger for a person who's commanded than the one who's not commanded. So therefore he gets more reward as well. That's the idea. So therefore, Rabbi, if a woman wants to become a Talmid Chacham, she wants to become a Torah scholar, and we do find that there were women like this who were Torah scholars, even though not many, but there were over the generations. We find women like the prophet Deborah, and we had the wife of Rabbi Meir, Bruria, she was also a Torah scholar. And we have also people in our generation as well. There are some ladies who are Torah scholars, they write books, all kinds of things. Not very many, but we do find some women who get to this level, that they study Talmud and all kinds of things. So what does that mean? That they do it on their own. If they want to do so, they get rewarded for that. Not as much as the men, as we said. So now the question arises, what happens over here that the women are getting together in a group and studying Talmud together? So then what, according to what we just learned, how does that turn out in the halakha? So the truth is, right, that it doesn't really matter who teaches the woman halakha, whether it's her father, or it's her brother, or it's her husband, or it could be also a woman as well. What does that mean? Let's say there's a woman who became a Talmid Chacham. As we said, there are some women who have the ability to do so. So if that's the case, that she became Talmid Chacham, and then she decided to teach her friend the Talmud, so she also is prohibited. Just like a man is prohibited to teach the woman, also the woman is also prohibited. Why is that? Because since the reason is because most women don't understand, this is the reason why we don't teach them Talmud and we don't teach them the oral Torah. So therefore, what does it matter whether it's a woman who's teaching her or a man? If she doesn't understand, and this is the reason why she's going to misinterpret the Torah and she's going to come out with all kinds of misunderstandings. So that if that's the case, it doesn't really matter whether it's a woman who teaches the Torah or a man who teaches the Torah. So therefore, in a case like this, where they get together and study in groups, even though there may be one lady over there who knows how to study Torah, how to study Talmud properly, and she's very smart and very, very, very sharp, but nevertheless, who told you that all the other ladies over there are going to be like her? No, it's not like that. So therefore, since we have a rule that most women are not qualified for this kind of study, so therefore it doesn't really matter whether it's a man who teaches or a woman. The point is that you're not allowed to teach her. Why? Because she's probably not going to do so well in this discipline. She's probably going to come up with the wrong understanding, all kinds of misunderstandings. So therefore, this is the reason why. And since this is the reason, comes out that even a woman should not be teaching other women Torah, even though she herself is a chacham. She's wise. She's very learned. But why teach the others? How do you know all the others are going to be able to be wise like you? It may not be the same thing. It may be something different. So therefore, Rabbi, we learn from here, from these sources that we just mentioned, that women should not be making Talmud groups like this together to study together, because this is the whole thing, right? That the Shulchan Aruch is telling you that you're not allowed to teach any woman Torah. If she wants to do so herself and get rewarded for that, she will get rewarded. But for us to teach her, not a good idea to do so. It's not allowed to do so according to Shulchan Aruch. So therefore, Rabbi, the final word is that a person should not make or encourage to make these kinds of groups of Talmud study with women. Nevertheless, says the Rama over there in the Shulchan Aruch, that when it comes to practical rules, halacha, law, Torah law, that women need to know in order to fulfill the mitzvot, they should be studying those parts. And this is why in the schools, in the yeshivot for the women, the Beit Yaakov, they do teach them halacha from all kinds of books, right? Whether it's this kitzur or that kitzur, Shulchan Aruch, or whatever it is, all kinds of things. They teach them from laws which are ready made and very brief, and they get to the point of how to do things, what's allowed, what's not allowed. This a woman is obligated to learn, because otherwise how is she going to know how to do the mitzvot? Therefore, the women have to study Torah, but there's a Torah study in order to fulfill, which they're obligated to do, but there's also Torah studying to understand, to be osek b'Torah, to go into the depths of the Torah. This, we say, right, if they want to do it on their own, they're able to do that, let them do it, fine. But we should not teach them on this level, as we said, Rabbi. So there is the dichotomy over here, that on the one hand, women should know the laws, they're obligated to know the halacha in order to fulfill the mitzvot. On the other hand, to go into the depths of the Torah, this should be left for men mainly. There are some women who get to this level, but as a general rule, the men are obligated. So therefore, we have to teach the men, we have to teach our children, we have to teach our sons, we have to teach our grandsons, we have to teach all of Am Yisrael. As it says right in the Gemara, that if a person teaches somebody else's son Torah, it's considered to be like he is his father, like we give him credit, like he brought him into the world, he created him and brought him into the world. So it's considered to be a very, very great mitzvah to teach the men Torah, that they should get to the level of being a Talmid Chacham, of being a Ben Torah. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen. Chazak Baruch. Thank you very much. God bless you all.